Welcome everybody to episode 16 of the Geek Dad Report. The one show dedicated, formulated, specially created to keep all you busy people in the know and keep your valuable time just that valuable. Welcome back yet again, our faithful friends and viewers
Hello, everyone.
and everybody else.
Everyone else. We are all inclusive here. We don't we can't say certain people can't watch us, except for our moms. Maybe our wives. Depends on what we talk about.
Has your wife ever actually watched the show? I know mine hasn't. She keeps telling me she's gonna.
I think she has had intentions, but other than that, as our show keeps getting longer, I don't think she can find like an hour of time to invest in it.
Well, and I get that, but part of the reason why we added new segments is so people like our wives could find something more entertaining out of our show than just geek
they have
news.
to listen to us talk about nerdy stuff every single day.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
combining both of us, having to listen to both of us have a conversation, because for the people that don't know, Brian and I will send each other like text messages. Like I'll be laying in bed about to go to sleep and like giggling as I'm texting Brian. And, and so Brian's like the last thing I do before I go to bed, like after I've already told my wife good night and I love her. And then I'm like, hey, Brian. But, yeah, so I think they probably had enough already. So.
Well, hopefully all, I don't know, 25 of our loyal viewers have not had enough yet. So thank you for coming back. And if you want, I don't know, if you want the show to be bigger and better, feel free to share it.
Yes. We'll get social media stuff rolling and try and get some expansion going. And speaking of, we might have some stuff to give away soon. So
yeah.
Yeah,
What we're gonna do? I think we're talking about what? Doing a Facebook page, maybe open a Twitter account, a Geek Dad Report.
A Pinterest.
Pinterest? No, we're not doing Pinterest.
A G Plus page that nobody will look at.
G Plus. Okay, not to get on the side tirade here, but why is there G Plus in the world? Why?
Because people hate Facebook.
Yeah, but nobody likes. I've never talked to anybody who actively uses G Plus as like their primary social media account. Like everybody's got one because you kind of have to, but like because Google makes you have one. But nobody. When's the last time you posted something actively like, oh, that was a cute picture of my kid, I'm going to go to my G Plus account?
The last time was before they made the Messenger app separate.
Yeah.
And so now I could use GChat without having to use G Plus. Well, so yeah, that was pretty much once I figured that out, then I just stopped using G Plus altogether.
The Messenger app is awesome, like the Hangout and the messengers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that's cool about G Plus that I like is it shows you how many times people have viewed your page. So like, if you're a narcissist like me, it's great to look and be like, I have 22,000 views. People love me,
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm being nice. It sucks.
I use MySpace more than I use my G Plus account. That's saying something.
I do wish that someday Facebook will get replaced with something else. I mean, I'm tired of Facebook. So
hey, I'm not saying I have any love for Facebook. I just don't understand the G Plus. I mean, I'm sure if there's plenty of you people out there who love it, and if you do, let us know. Hit us up on Twitter and let us know why you love G Plus, because I would love to have a conversation with
on
someone.
our Facebook or our Twitter account, and let us know why you like G Plus so much.
I don't even know what my G Plus handle is.
It's the same as your Gmail, isn't it?
No, it's Seahawks Football Ninja. I'm a football fan. Add me as your friend. Add me in your circle, because there's like 12 circles and I don't understand it. They just need one circle. It's called the Circle of Trust.
No, you can have a circle for friends, and then you have a circle for acquaintances. For the people that are like on that borderline of being your friend, but you're like,
but then that just
I can handle being around you, but I don't want to actively have to engage with you.
That's another thing I hate about it. So when someone adds you, right, it pops up. You get like 4 different options, and now there's kind of the stress level. You're like, okay, you got to immediately classify your friend as exactly, are they your friend, are they your acquaintance, are they your coworker? And if you get the wrong one and then they find out, then they're immediately offended. They're like, oh, I thought we were friends. Apparently I'm just your acquaintance. And you're like, well, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm just a coworker to you.
Blame Google Plus. See, they need one. They need two rings. The circle of trust, that should be one circle, and then the circle of untrust, and that'll be the other circle, and that's all you do.
Yeah.
You're either in or you're out.
And then the circle of life.
And then is that the one where you just get eaten?
Yeah, it's just Simba, and it just plays that one
Elton John
song, the Elton John song,
over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's just on a continuous forever loop.
Yeah, so if you're a hardcore Google Plus supporter,
it's Google, so it's a YouTube clip as well.
Yeah,
so
well, hit us up on one of the social media networks that actually people use, and I would love to talk to somebody who loves G Plus and find out why. Maybe I'm missing out on something. I don't know, but you know.
Enlighten us, please.
Yeah, please. I don't know what we got way off topic. What were we talking about? I don't know. What were we talking about? Oh, share. We want to get lots more viewers. We're gonna give away stuff. We're gonna have a Facebook account, a Twitter account. Hopefully,
something like this.
Yeah, it's free to some lucky person someday.
I got 10 of them. So.
Yeah, we got a bunch. Ryan, we got the hookups. Ryan's the magic man behind the computer.
Yeah, I'm also the PR guy for Watch, Play, Read, and we have a lot of very, very good contacts in the movie industry. So they sent me a giant box full of movies and said, do whatever you want with them. And, if people are nice, maybe Geek Dad Report will give something away.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we were talking too. If we can get our viewership up, we might be able to pull a celebrity guest on the show. How cool would that be?
Yeah, I would love to have Arnold Schwarzenegger on here, and Brian and I can just try and do our best Arnold impersonations the whole show.
Oh my god! See, I feel like if we did get a guest, it'd have to be like a lower, like a B guest, because if it was Arnold, we would just be idiots the whole time and just Arnold, hello, we are your biggest fan. Chris Farley.
Man, what's his name? Chris Farley, yeah.
You know that movie you did where you were Terminator? It was awesome.
That was awesome. Can you gold weight? What's that one guy's name?
Who?
Like Gilbert Gottfried or something like that.
Yeah,
Gilbert
Gottfried. Yeah. God, we could ask him hard hitting questions like, what was it like to get blackballed by Hollywood when you made a Hurricane Katrina joke and people lost their minds? Oh, poor Gilbert Gottfried. But yeah, no. So I guess what we're saying is, if you like our show, feel free to share it. Recommend us to other people and give us some feedback. Let us know what you want us to do better and do more of. And
I might be generous.
You might be generous. You might give some stuff out. So, I guess that's kind of State of the Union for us right now. That's our roundabout, long-winded State of the Union address. Hopefully we'll have me and Ryan are kind of brainstorming. Hopefully we'll have some cool social media ideas out, and at least a Facebook page where you guys can always put your questions to us for our Q&A section and kind of get a hold of us. So that'll be kind of fun. Why's your microphone moving? Why?
Sorry, I moved my hand down and it hit the end of the microphone and shot it out.
I confuse easily. What are you doing? I get distracted. All right, that's enough rambling. You want to get the news? We got news. I think we got news.
Oh, this stuff happened this week? I didn't.
My show sheet says we have news.
Yeah, I got a big sticky note that shows up on my screen.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get to it. You know what? I want to call you out on something. Do you have a news board that was drawn by your children? I believe a certain somebody said that they guaranteed a news show prop done by your children, or you were going to owe someone $20.
I have an SD card.
That does not count.
My son plugged in that from a little video camera we gave him for Christmas a couple of years ago, and he uploaded all his videos on it. So.
Well, everybody, the first person to go onto Twitter, call Ryan out, and hashtag the Geek Dad Report. will get $20. I'll help Ryan pay for it.
I can't guarantee if it's real or if it comes from my kid's pretend cash bank.
So pretty simple.
We'll get $20 bill.
At Big Bruiser, you owe me $20. Hashtag Geek Dad Report.
Yeah. We'll see what you get.
Instant money. All right. So news. First news. So news. There you go. Jazz hands. Boom, boom, boom. News. All right. That was pretty awesome. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
All right. So first bit of news we got is Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is going to be start filming in February, but the actual title for the name has just been released by James Gunn on Twitter on a Q&A. He kind of let it slip with the official title is going to be called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So anybody who's seen the movie is, it's not a huge title change, but anybody who's seen the movie knows it's kind of a, I don't know, throwback to the soundtrack, the great soundtrack of the movie. And
now, how do you think the second movie's soundtrack? Do you think they're gonna go with the same kind of like how they did the first one? That was really popular.
Yeah, I would imagine they would. I can't imagine they wouldn't. I mean, you got to figure it that
mixtape volume 2, like.
Yeah, they won a Grammy. I mean, that soundtrack won a Grammy. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I believe Gunn said he's going to start doing more because I want to say the soundtrack was kind of pop hits from the late 70s, and I want to say the second volume 2 is going to be early 80s. I think is what he said he was going to do. So. I mean, it kind of goes with the theme of the movie when his mom. Well, if you haven't seen the show, spoiler alert: when his mom dies at the very beginning of the movie, she gives him, a present, and it turns out to be a second mixtape. And so, if you look at the time frame of when it is, my guess is the first mixtape that he had, the volume 1 that he played throughout the entire movie, was his mom sharing her love of music throughout the the ages. So my guess is they'd probably, like I said, move up to the 80s or early 80s. So I don't know, it'll probably be pretty cool. Sure, it'll be just as fun as the first mixtape.
It has to be. I mean, it made Chris Pratt a star that he is right now. So.
Well, and as far as the
everyone's expectations of the movie was so extremely low that it just blew everybody away. Well, so I wonder now if everyone's gonna have high expectations for a second one.
I wouldn't say the movie had low expectations. I will say people just didn't know what to think about the movie. Like, they didn't understand what it was going to be. I think anytime you have Marvel flash across the screen, there's going to be a certain level of expectation. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot more pressure on this one because that one made a ton of money. The first one was a huge hit. I mean, it was bigger than Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It was, I want to say it was the biggest movie of that year. So it's gonna have, well, and not just that, Chris Pratt, Jurassic World, if you don't know, is still making cash, hand over fist. So there's definitely gonna be
it's like a percentage.
Yeah, I hope he does too. I don't know if he does. He may never work again. He'll be just a billionaire. But he's gonna. There's gonna be definitely expectation. The first movie was great. Chris Pratt has become a bona fide star. So there's definitely gonna be a level of, is this movie gonna do really well, and it needs to be really good. But it's only a title, so I don't want to dive too much into it. We're still a ways away. It doesn't come out till May in 2017. But I like the title is sticking to the theme of what Guardians kind of is. Kind of goofy, kind of fun, and something just a little bit different. It could have been super easy just to go Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the Lost Cosmos or something. Instead, they went with Guardians of the Galaxy 2 Volume 2, which just says it's something fun, it's something different. And it's almost meta in a way.
Galaxy Volume 2, not Guardians of the Galaxy 2 Volume 2.
Yeah, so it's just Volume 2. And like it may be just a small word, but it kind of just, I don't know. I think it's a good representation of just what the movie is, something. Yeah.
It's a good play on from and a very obvious that we're moving on from the first one, with what the expectation of what everyone knows of it. So
well, yeah, and it's very self-aware. It's a title that kind of says, "Hey, we know what we are, and here you go." So I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to dive too much into a title. We already talked a lot about it, but it's
5 minutes on a title. So how are we going to do about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. title then?
Yeah, so Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Secret Warriors is going to be the title for Season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is what Ryan's talking about. And I'm really excited about it. Anybody who doesn't know what Secret Warriors is Shield has their own like basically band of mutants and people with powers. It's kind of their own version of the X-Men or their own version of Avengers. It's called the Secret Warriors. It's it's not headed up by Coulson, but Nick Fury put it together. But it's led by Quake, Daisy Johnson, who, spoiler alert, is a major character from season 1 and 2 of Ryan hasn't seen it, so I don't want to give it away. Let's just say, spoiler free. Let's just say one of the characters from Agents of Shield is going to be the leader of Secret Warriors, and it's pretty awesome. So, the end of season 2 really brought in the Inhumans. Okay, well, he's just closing here. So, I'll just talk to you, the audience. Season 2 really brought in the Inhumans. If you haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I highly recommend it. Season 1 was kind of a tie-in to Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and Hydra. Season 2 finished that story arc off, but really brought in the Inhumans and people with powers onto the show, and it got really, really good at the end. So it looks like Season 3, codenamed Secret Warriors, is definitely going to dive more into superpowers and people with abilities. All right, all done. Spoiler free.
But
so
I turned the hearing aids off, and I was like clicking on the thing, so I can. I'm on the third episode of season 2 right now.
Just wait to get to the end. It's so great. It gets so good.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like I said, Secret Warriors is going to be. I think it's going to be cool. They're definitely embracing more of the super powered, show like every other show is.
Stop talking about it. Move on. I don't want you to slip up on me.
I'm not going to spoil anything. They kind of have to, because you figure Flash is huge and he's got powers. Daredevil's awesome and he kind of has powers, and it was only a matter of time before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think had to embrace its powers, the powers of the universe, and they have, so looks cool. Speaking of Daredevil. Yeah, Daredevil. See, those are transitions, Ryan. I did not go to film school to learn those things, or radio school, or any kind of school. I just listened to a lot of sports talk radio.
I drank a lot of alcohol school.
Yeah, there's that. Daredevil season 2. We talked about the fact that Punisher's going to be in it. We didn't know whether he was going to be a friend or foe. It looks like he's going to be a foe. Not really surprising.
Yeah, I believe that. I think it's awesome.
I do too. Well, they released the first image. Well, it's not an image. It's kind of a logo for season 2, and it had the Daredevil theme with a whole bunch of bullet holes in it. So we kind of both speculated that Punisher might be the villain, but one of the showrunners is running around basically saying that he's going to be his not arch nemesis, maybe not a la Kingpin last year, but he's definitely going to be an antagonist, and they're going to be going at it. So
that sounds good to me. I'm up for that.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to definitely be embracing the character. His first appearance in the comic book was as a villainous type role. It wasn't a hero, so definitely looks like they're going to kind of go in that direction to start the season at least. I'm sure at some point they'll become friends and
or maybe not friends, but like
allies.
Like allies when when the situation really calls for it.
Yeah, reluctant allies for the greater good.
Yes.
So, that's not much else about that. I'm excited for it, but a little bit of news would be kind of cool. So moving on from Marvel to DC here, there's some, great DC stuff. So the Suicide Squad movie is currently under production, and, we've talked a lot about it. We're pretty excited about it. The director, David Ayer, has actually hired a therapist, a full-time therapist, to be on set for the show, or for the filming of the movie. Apparently the movie's fairly dark, and I don't know if this is... We'll get into...
They don't want Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I'm
actions.
A little... you got some good character actors. Like, apparently it's been talked about that Jared Leto is going like full blown like crazy for his role. He's going super method actor, and he apparently won't break character as the Joker even like when they're off. Apparently he's right now is the Joker. Even in his downtime, he's running around as the Joker. He's been sending people on set, like his fellow cast members, presents. He sent Harley Quinn, or I forget her name, but he sent her a rat and a love letter. He sent Will Smith some bullets and a threat note, and apparently he sent somebody a dead hog. I don't know who, but yeah, people said that he has kind of lost his mind.
Yeah, I think that would totally warrant having a therapist on set. Um, yeah, but the thing is, how you know how much of that is just marketing PR,
Yeah, it might
and
be a ton of
how
marketing
much of
PR.
that is truth and not truth. But I mean, if that is going on, then you really gotta hope he doesn't pull Heath Ledger on everyone.
Well,
And then like nobody's ever gonna want to be the Joker ever again.
yeah,
Or,
right.
no, no. The last two guys that did this role like went insane and killed themselves. So no.
I will
But
say,
they got an Academy Award posthumous. So
you
well,
know,
I don't know.
I feel like if he was really losing his mind, I feel like they wouldn't just be telling us there's a therapist on set. I feel like it's a little tongue in cheek. Just they did it to make sure that it doesn't get too dark. It's a villainous type film, so it can definitely be a dark film. But I do kind of, if you read between the lines a little bit, I do kind of like the direction that this Joker is kind of going. He's not super serious like Heath Ledger's Joker was. Heath Ledger was a great Joker, but he was very.
He wasn't serious.
Oh,
I kept
yeah.
asking him why he's so serious.
Yeah, he was, but he would. That was what made him kind of funny because he was like a living kind of oxymoron. He always talked about why so serious, but he was very serious and insane. He's completely insane. But he wasn't goofy. I mean, he had some goofy moments, but this Joker seems like if he's sending rats to people, and I mean, it definitely seems like he's going to be even more out of his mind, more maybe like the Mark Hamill version from the cartoons than the I don't know, psychotic. I guess they're all psychotic, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off until I get to see some trailer action or something like
Yeah.
that, or at least like the first trailer. Images are not gonna be enough for me on this one, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It has good potential, and it also has a lot of it could DC movie.
Yeah, I'm very anxious. I am very anxious to see some actual, real, like chopped footage for the public to see. Even if it's just a teaser with the Joker, I really want to see Jared Leto's Joker in action. And the trailer for this, I'm very much anticipating. I don't know. I'm anxious to see. I definitely want to see it before I get too excited for this. I mean, everything I've seen about the Suicide Squad I like, but it's such a different property, and I like that DC's kind of is branching off to try something different. But I'm kind of tempering my enthusiasm until I see some actual, real footage, not some handy cam stuff or somebody took with their cell phone, but some real footage of the movie. So
if they make it like that Batman DC animated one,
yeah, it'll be
with
really
the
good.
Suicide Squad, that'll be awesome. But other than that,
it's shooting right now, which means they'll probably have.
we got Batman versus Superman, so at least we can get all giddy on that. So.
Yeah, my guess is I bet we have a teaser probably this fall and maybe a full blown trailer probably this winter, somewhere like that. So I don't know, we'll see. Some more Warner Brothers DC news, which is I'm super excited for, is the Batman versus Superman movie. They have, I think, Entertainment Tonight or no, Entertainment Weekly. Yeah, Entertainment Weekly got some images from the movie. I think 6 or 7 screenshots, stills of the movie. They showed Lex Luthor with hair, so Jesse Eisenberg. Got a first look at him. Got a first look at Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She wasn't in full costume, but it just some cool pictures that get you excited for the show. And they released an actual color photo of the Trinity of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman in full costume. It's not them actually together it's definitely 3 chopped different pictures all put together and photoshopped, but
that's just how they do it these days. They don't
actually get them together.
Photoshop everything and how they want it.
Yeah, but it still looks pretty cool. What I liked about it is they got rid of that Instagram filter, and you can actually see like Wonder Woman's outfit has some color in it. It's the blue and the red. And the gold, so it looks pretty cool. You get a really good look at Ben Affleck. Actually, it's kind of the first really good look I think you've seen of him in his costume, and he looks freaking massive. That dude looks like he looks like a beast. Is what he looks like.
I don't know how much it is costume and how much he we're getting in shape, but it does have some pretty good looking pecs on it. So
yeah, dude, Batman looks like a beast. If you haven't seen it, go online. They're all over the place right now. I threw them up on my Facebook page. So if you're one of my friends, you probably have already seen it. It's on there. If not, head over to Entertainment Weekly, and they have all the stuff up. It's pretty cool. Another cool is like I think, you know what I think it is? I think it's with San Diego Comic-Con coming out, people are releasing all these images to get people kind of excited for stuff. One of the other people, obviously Warner Brothers is going to have a huge panel at Comic-Con. Deadpool is going to have Deadpool and Fox is going to have a big panel at Comic-Con, and they just released another Deadpool image that looks awesome. It's just Ryan Reynolds in his full costume.
Him standing there with the overturned car and he's holding 2 guns.
Yeah, it's not an action shot. It's one of the first ones we've seen that's a full, real, clear image of his costume on set, and he looks just like Daredevil. He looks just like Deadpool, and he looks great.
It looks, the costume, like at first I had to thought it was like CGI or there was something kind of done with it, and then when you actually look at the costume, you're like, holy crap, that's a real deal Deadpool costume right there. It's better than any cosplay thing I've ever seen. It's amazing looking.
Well, and that's one thing that I think this movie's doing. I really hope this movie's really good, because if it is, there's a lot of things that's done right that can be a big, kind of boost to the comic movie industry. One is the fact that their marketing's been so great, but the other one is that his costume. This is a direct from the comic. I mean, they pulled this right from the comic. He looks exactly like he did in the comic, right down to the white eyes. And if they make it work and look good, we can maybe stop moving away from what, why Brian hates Bryan Singer is because he makes all the costumes look like crap. They don't look like X-Men costumes. And it would be nice to actually be able to translate. Marvel's done a pretty decent job with some of the Captain America, the Iron Man, Thor costumes. But, this is the first one that I've ever seen that, is literally right from the comic books, and it doesn't look cheesy. It looks great.
Oh, did you also hear that it has a hard R rating?
Oh, yeah.
No. So, anyone who's really looking forward to, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be a lot of swearing, it's going to be the Deadpool that it needs to be, not weird Deadpool from Wolverine origin.
Yeah, apparently they filmed a bunch of scenes at strip clubs, so it's gonna be if you're even halfway, if anybody's halfway interested in this, go see it. Even if you don't like Deadpool the character, just go see it, because it needs to make a lot of money, or they will quit. They will quit taking risks on rated R properties, and there's some really good rated R properties that comic book characters that need to be rated R, and Blade was a great character. We want another Punisher movie that's really good. It'd be great to get a great rated R Punisher. Deadpool, obviously, if it's good, we would love to have a sequel or a few of them, but I don't know. So the funny thing is, so the picture came from Entertainment Weekly, and this also comes from Entertainment Weekly. He was talking about how he'd like to really thank whoever that this all is possible because of the leaked test footage, and he'd really like to thank the person who leaked it was like a 30-second video that was kind of a rough clip that apparently it's what a lot of people use to try and pitch a movie to a studio. And so somebody got a hold of that and released it online, and that's what generated all the buzz and really got this movie made. And so Ryan Reynolds said that he would, if he could find who did it, he would like to give him a kiss. Not just a little kiss, but a full on-the-mouth, sloppy, with tongue for 2 straight minutes on live television without commercial interruption, and then I'll buy you dinner at Red Lobster at least, and dessert. End quote.
That's a great quote.
That is a great quote. So I'm going to go out and just say I did it, Ryan Reynolds. I was the one who released the footage.
Yes.
So I will be expecting
I will watch you two make out.
Ryan will... There we go. There's our first guest. He will come on into my house and make out with me for 2 minutes and take me to Red Lobster, and you can watch. I did not leak the test footage. I lied right then. I feel bad about it.
You have options.
But, yeah. So, if you're not excited about that or don't like Ryan Reynolds, I really hope this movie's good for a lot of reasons, but also because I feel like Ryan Reynolds needs a win. He's a guy who seems very likable.
Yes.
And he's a good actor.
He is. I like him as an actor. It's just his last couple of roles have not panned out, especially Green Lantern. Yeah, it was bad. But
he did Green Lantern. He did Blade 3. It was Hannibal King. He was really good as Hannibal King. But both those properties were just Blade was on its way out, and Green Lantern was just terrible. So, yeah, we'd love to see Ryan Reynolds do something that is loved by people, and I don't know. We all really like him.
It seems like he's totally embraced it. He's not just doing, PR. Unless it's the PR guy that's doing all this stuff, for him. But
yeah, if it's a PR guy, then it's a genius. It's one of the best PR campaigns I've seen, just promotions and everything I've seen in a movie, and they've really connected with the fans on a way that everybody's really excited. Anybody I've talked to about the Deadpool movie, and I hate Fox movies for the most part when it comes to their mutants, and I am super excited for this movie. So I mean,
yeah.
I'm on the same level with the Marvel movies as I am with Deadpool right now. That's my level of excitement. I'm very excited for it. So
I got my wait.
It's on that side. There it is.
Well, it's on. I get turned around when I'm trying to point because it's opposite the screen. So. But yeah. Anyways, Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds. We can't wait. We're super excited. I can't wait for a trailer. So, from one guy who really knows what he's doing to a guy who has absolutely no idea what he's doing in life in general.
Let's keep this one short because
we are going to keep this really short. I just think this guy's a total douchebag, and I just love the fact that NBC fired him. So I just figured I'd say about it. Donald Trump has been fired from NBC. NBC has cut all ties with Donald Trump after he recently announced he's going to run for president, and then got on one of his speeches, said a lot of racially insensitive thing about Mexicans and Mexico, and rightfully so. NBC said, nope, we are done with you, and hasta luego. So, NBC...
He's lost a couple other ones, like Macy's not doing his whatever crappy clothesline he had, and some other companies have started pulling out. So...
yeah, nobody wants to air his stupid Miss America pageant.
Yeah, I have not watched that once in my life. So
I've watched
it when I was like 16 and I was single, and
I watched it when I was younger, and then I got older, and I kind of wondered, like, hey, these girls are cute and they're in bikinis, but what does that have anything to do with how smart they are or how good they are at anything? I just don't get it.
But Donald Trump, you suck.
Donald Trump, you're fired.
Yeah.
That's great. I really hope the NBC executive did it just like that. They pulled him into the office and said, Donald Trump, you're fired. Get out. So NBC, I'm still mad at you that you canceled Constantine, and a lot of people are mad you canceled Hannibal.
Get over it.
Nope.
Get over it.
But we approve of you firing Donald Trump. Very good. Lesson learned. Just because you're a billionaire does not mean you can say racist things and get away with it. So,
well, I think we might have another lesson learned with Hasbro teaming up to make a friggin' Monopoly movie.
Oh my God.
I think the lesson learned is it's going to be a really stupid idea.
Oh my God, the movie's going to be so
bad. About
bad.
a top hat moving along the street.
Is there?
As some, I don't know.
We'll keep this short. Is there any chance this movie is going to be good?
No.
No. All right. So.
End of story.
Yeah. Hasbro has teamed up with Lionsgate, and they are making a live-action Monopoly movie, which is a terrible idea. So, once again, proof that Hollywood has run out of movie ideas, and they're willing to do anything at this point. They think
we haven't done like shoots and ladders. Like let's watch a bunch of kids fall down ladders. That'd be a lot more fun than Monopoly.
How about Hungry Hippo? We can watch hippos eat people. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Make
a horror movie, a hard-rated R game movie about the Hungry Hippos. That'd be fun. Let's see what else. We got a little bit more news here. Yes. Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto have signed on for Star Trek 4, which actually hasn't been announced that it's going to be made, and no one's even seen
Simon
Star Trek 4 yet.
Writing the third one, so
I don't know. My guess is that the third one, if it's any good, they just want to make sure the stars are signed in case they greenlight a fourth one. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They have not confirmed. Paramount has not confirmed they are actually making a Star Trek 4, but they have confirmed that they have signed them to a future movie if they do. Steve Jobs and Apollo Creed are getting their own movies here soon, and the first trailers, Apollo Creed's son is getting his own movie, and they have released the first trailers for it. So the Steve Jobs movie is going to be based off the biography written by Walter Isaacs, I think his name is.
Something like that.
Yeah, I read his book. The book is an amazing read. It's, you know, I like Apple products. I'm not necessarily. I think Steve Jobs was a visionary and a great person as far as in the the world of tech moving us forward. He was not a very likable person, and he wasn't a great. He was kind of a dick, honestly. But depending on how you feel about him, you can't deny that he is probably one of the most influential people of our generation. And the book basically shows that. It's actually a really interesting read. I should probably just recommend it one of these days. But if you haven't picked up the book, I highly recommend it. It's a long book, but I blew through it in a couple of weeks because you just can't. His life is so interesting and how it happened. His whole life. It is amazing when you hear how much he has influenced our culture nowadays. But anyway, I want to turn this into Steve Jobs' Love Fest. Like I said, the guy was kind of a dick, but they've made a movie based on that biography, and the first trailer's out, and the trailer looks really good.
So check that out.
And then the other one is Rocky 6. It's not really a Rocky 6. It's called Creed. It's about Apollo Creed's son, and Rocky trains him.
Oh, I was gonna say, Sylvester Stallone's still trying to milk out that he's a fighter kind of thing, or.
When I first heard they were going to do a Rocky 6, I kind of sighed like everybody else. But then when I heard that it was this idea, I actually think this is a really cool idea, honestly. Very rarely can you continue a beloved franchise like Rocky in a way that doesn't seem old and tired. And this definitely seems like a new, fresh idea, and it's something that actually kind of makes a lot of sense. Apollo Creed, spoiler alert, dies in Rocky 4. And leaves behind a young son, and now all this time later his son's grown and he loves boxing like his father did, and he needs somebody to train him, and Rocky steps up. So it actually makes sense in the movie.
Dolph is gonna come back and he's still like the same guy, and come to the ring and like, I will break you. And then he's like,
Dolph Lundgren has not been confirmed to be in Creed. That'd be great. What'd be great is if it's really successful and they make a whole second franchise called in Creed 2. Is if Creed, Apollo's son, fights Drago's son in the Ukraine, But I don't know. So check out the trailer. It's actually it looks pretty good. I'm fairly excited for it. Our last bit of news here is Top Gun news. So I feel like I should have cued Danger Zone. Highway to the Danger Zone.
Okay, how many times have you listened to at least like the opening scene?
Oh.
Like,
I had the Top Gun soundtrack on cassette tape, and I listened to it when I worked out. I listened to it when I did anything, when I went to bed, when I played video games. I was telling you this. Back in the day when we had like Metroid on Game Boy, they had terrible soundtracks. They had the 8-bit soundtrack, and it was awful. And so I used to put on Top Gun and listen to Danger Zone when I was fighting the boss at the end, just so I could get motivated. And I made my own soundtrack with Top Gun. That was one of the greatest soundtracks ever made.
Volleyball with your brothers and
hey man, the boys are back in town. You can say what you want to.
Yeah.
No, I love Top Gun, man. I used to play Remember Afterburner, the video game at the arcade that was like a total Top Gun ripoff, but they couldn't call it Top Gun because they didn't want to pay the franchise fee.
Was probably the best recruiting tool that the Air Force ever had.
Dude, I wanted to be in the Air Force. And it was in the Navy. It wasn't even the Air Force, but I wanted to be in the Air Force.
Yeah, it's true. Navy.
All right, so Top Gun 2 has been long rumored to be being made, and right now it's got a lot of people attached to it, and they're finishing up a script, and they're really trying to push this forward. They've kind of released what the movie's going to be about. It's going to be kind of the fighter pilots' last days, honestly, as pilots, because now everything's being replaced by drones, unmanned drones. So it's going to be kind of the last generation of fighter pilots, kind of taking on the drones and proving that they're still viable. And I don't care. It's going to have Top Gun
shooting
Tom
drones out of air. Fuck you! You went down too far below the elevation line when you were shooting that drone.
Personally, I hope it's those Amazon drones that they go in the sky and shoot.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. No, I don't know. It's going to be about. It'd probably end up being rogue drones that Tom Cruise, only Tom Cruise can
I hope Tom Cruise is like one of the new instructors.
Yeah. Well, that was the original idea pitched, and that he would be the new instructor of the Top Gun program. But now in this movie, apparently there is no Top Gun program because they're, like I said, the U.S. government right now is scaling back on the actual fighter pilots, and they're actually making a lot more unmanned drones flying around shooting things. So it's kind of what this movie's going to be about. Kind of the drones replacing actual pilots. So I don't care, man. Top Gun is as American can get, and I'm on board. I will go see it day one if Top Gun 2 comes out.
Yeah. And I will have my soundtrack listening all the way.
Hopefully the
original soundtrack.
Hopefully the Top Gun 2 soundtrack is actually the Top Gun 1 soundtrack, and they just do it again. That'd be great. Highway to the Danger Zone again. We need Kenny. Is Kenny Loggins still alive? Because he needs to come back.
Yes. I have no idea.
So, well.
Lana.
Top Gun. Speaking of Top Gun, that brings us to our topic of the night. With 4th of July just around the corner. Actually, what? Day after tomorrow? Tomorrow? No. Saturday?
Yeah, 2 days.
2 days.
Yes.
We were
Today,
talking
July
about
2nd.
We were talking about what are the best American movies, and we thought that'd be a great topic. Like the movies that make you just proud to be an American. You're just like, yeah.
Well, obviously, we'll say Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun. It's
on
on Mount Rushmore. Should we do like a Mount Rushmore? Like, what are our 4 greatest? Like, if we had a Mount Rushmore of American movies, like America.
Okay, so let's go. We'll just put Top Gun is on the list and the top.
On there.
We won't determine which one yet.
All right.
I have to say, add Red Dawn, because even though it was a crappy '80s movie, it was the Soviets invading, and a bunch of stupid high school kids like getting all
Charlie Sheen before he had Tiger Blood.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Rocky. I'm gonna say Rocky 4 has got to be on there.
Because of Dolph.
Because the dude was wearing like an American flag, and Dolph, like we were talking about earlier, Dolph Lundgren kills Apollo Creed, and Rocky went to Russia, and he trained in the wilderness, and he had like a log, and he was in snow, and Dolph Lundgren had all this high tech equipment and was totally juicing up,
punching cold meat.
Yeah, and Rocky gets in the ring, and he looks down on him, and he's like, I will break you. I must break you. Hitting that man is like hitting iron.
Yeah. Well, and then what would the final one be? It would have to be. I want to say something like The Patriot, but that's got an Australian racist in it.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of like Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. I guess if you want to go to NASCAR route.
I'm not really saying it's like super American, like American
like
Pride,
Saving
but
Private Ryan.
It's kind of the heartland.
Or is that more like a World War II biopic?
How about Independence Day?
Yeah, I guess Eddie shouting "up yours" as he shoots up an alien spaceship, kind of.
That's true. I don't know about that.
That speech in Independence Day is pretty good, though.
Yeah.
That's very end.
And it ties into like the 4th of July, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. I feel kind of weak about it. It's a good movie, but I really didn't feel American pride when I watched that.
Dude,
how about Team America, World Police?
I used to get chills down my spine, like when the president was doing that speech.
Yeah, that's true.
About this is our independence. I would get like chills down my spine. I don't know why.
All right, so we're gonna go. Okay, so we're gonna go Top Gun.
Top Gun number 1.
Number 1. Number 2 has got to be Rocky 4.
And then Rocky 4, number 2.
Number 2 is Rocky 4. Ooh, how about though? I don't know. How about like the Mighty Ducks Part 2 or Miracle?
The Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
Well, it does show that as long as you quack, things can be accomplished.
Yeah, I like because in Mighty Ducks 2 they take on the Russian World Cup team, or the World Cup, I don't know, the World whatever
they got Keenan Johnson on it, the Knuckle Puck.
Yeah, the Knuckle Puck. I don't know.
And Foggy, the guy that plays Foggy now, he was that
enforcer,
big
Bash Brothers.
Yeah, he was one of the Bash Brothers.
Oh, no,
now he's Foggy on Daredevil.
All right, so if we put Mighty Ducks 2, what would it take the place of though?
I still think Red Dawn has to be it. We'll put Red Dawn number 4.
All right, so what's number 3? Are we gonna say what we say number? Was it gonna Independence Day or Mighty Ducks 2? We gotta go Independence Day.
Yeah, given those two options, you have Knuckle Puck and
Will Smith.
Will Smith saying "Welcome to Earth," with an F.
right.
ERF. Earth.
All right. So the tribe has spoken. We have decided. So, America, if you're going to watch 4 movies, American movies on the 4th of July, you're going to watch, in this order, Top Gun, Rocky IV, Independence Day, and Red Dawn. Boom.
And you must consume 3 hot dogs,
apple pie,
2 cheeseburgers, an apple pie, Miller High Life.
No.
Or Budweiser.
Or Coors Light, some American watered down
Budweiser,
beer.
Coors Light. One of those shitty, big name beers that it's only like $6 for a 6-pack.
Yeah, and then what else? Oh, and eat Freedom Fries, because we don't like the French, so we don't eat French fries. Eat Freedom Fries.
Yeah, and you need to be wearing an American flag Speedo while you watch it with no shirt on.
Okay, well, if that's what you got to do, then we definitely got to add Days of Thunder to the list, okay?
Okay, so Days of Thunder will be like if you still got time left in the day.
Well, you know what? We're America, so we're adding a 5th president on Mount Rushmore, and it's going to be Days of Thunder. If you're going to be doing all that. And you're going to drink your beer out of like a foam cooler.
Yeah. Or have a beer cozy.
And have spent your entire rent check on fireworks. Alright, I feel like
sorry, we can't eat this month.
Okay.
Daddy had to get the big box.
Well, we also... Oh, but we'll have hot dogs and hamburgers and apple pie and Freedom Fries to tide us over. So, we joke, we kid.
You gotta put like chili and cheese on the fries.
We joke, we kid. We know a lot of good Americans celebrate 4th of July not wearing Speedos and white beaters. Anyway, that being said, I forgot our movies. What were our movies? Oh, Top Gun,
yeah.
Independence Day, Rocky IV.
Top Gun, Rocky IV, Independence Day,
Red Dawn.
And if you feel like being a redneck,
Days of Thunder. There you go. All right. So that
American.
That does it for our news and topic of the week. Woo! Make it rain.
Yes.
So, as usual, we have some great questions that you guys gave us this week, so we're going to read them off for you guys and answer away. So, did we ever decide what our gold star question of the night was? Who gets the gold star tonight?
Let's give it to Chris.
Good. All right, Chris, you're going to get the gold star, so you're last. Sorry, Phil.
Gold star.
I know you're listening. I know you're going to be disappointed, but you had some good questions, too. So we'll start with Phil from Washington. He wants to know...
I think we gave Phil the gold star last week. You can't get it more than once a week.
Dude, yeah.
So.
Well, he's got it like 3 times, so good job, Phil. We got a keychain for you.
Yeah.
Phil wants to know what the hell is up with grown-ass men wearing skinny jeans and jeans that have bedazzled butt pockets. Dude, I have no idea.
I seriously want to punch him. Mostly.
As a guy, you should never have...
If I could, I would never wear it.
As a guy, you should never have button-over pockets on jeans in general, but you should definitely never have anything bedazzled on your jeans. So
I don't understand how you gotta like have some space for like breathing room, Well, because it'd be like you take off your, I don't know if it's like skinny jeans, you don't got any crotch room or anything like that, but.
Well, they had skinny jeans when we were younger. They were called Wranglers, and cowboys wore them. I don't know, man. Phil, I don't know what's up with them. I would never wear a pair. Most people I know would never wear a pair of skinny or bedazzled jeans. But they're popular.
I did not know men's bedazzled jeans was a thing, because
they're
I don't know if Phil's always looking at a lot of dudes' butts, and that he just, this is for observational science.
They're like designer jeans, and they cost like a fortune. So, I don't know. Phil, I guess maybe because they cost a lot. I don't know. People like to spend money on clothes, and people get tired of the same thing. So I guess you go to the store, and they're expensive. People think you should buy them. I don't know. That's my guess. My guess is that...
You go to the store, you buy 2 pairs of jeans that fit, and then when they both got giant holes in them all over the place, you throw them away and buy new ones 6 years later.
I wear Buddy Lee's. Can't bust them. Lee dungarees.
I don't know what I just wear whatever my wife picked out for me.
I buy Lee
the store
Dungarees.
because I am not a good clothes shopper.
You're
So
not a good clothes shopper. Well, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's maybe they brought in scientists, and maybe there's something about the flashy nature of the bedazzling that catches guys' eyes like fish, and they buy them.
Brian and I both agree. Down with skinny jeans for men.
No skinny jeans, no bedazzled. So I don't know, Phil. People are weird. That's my answer. And
Yeah,
if you do buy them, they're not cool. Don't buy them anymore.
don't do it.
Let's see what else we got here. Ryan from Utah. God, this guy looks familiar. I don't know who this guy is. Kind of looks like you, Ryan. He's got like a Batman face on. I don't know.
There's a lot of Ryans in Utah.
Ryan, wait, this is you, Ryan Thomason, you trickster. He wants to know why Brian. What's the secret to my endless charm? I don't know. Beer, a lot of beer.
So
Having a dysfunctional childhood where I moved a lot, and you have no choice. You have two choices when you move a lot as a child. It's you either talk a lot and get a personality so you can get a lot of friends, or you have no friends and you sit in your basement and do nothing. So I chose to, I don't know, talk a lot. So dysfunctional youth and childhood of nomadic existence. That's where my endless charm comes from. So thank you, Ryan, for your wonderful question. It's very nice of you to participate. Chris from Utah wants to know whether what's better, Baconator fries or ghost pepper fries?
I'm a fan of spicy, so I'm gonna go with ghost pepper fries.
I'm gonna go with Baconator fries because bacon makes everything better.
Dude, my wife and I went to the grocery store last night, and we had like our 2 weeks worth of grocery lists and everything. She looked at me and she goes, "You know what sounds really good tonight? BLTs."
Yeah.
And then we were both just like,
Bacon.
BLTs. Like, went and made like a whole giant pack of bacon, like 2 gallons of bacon grease, that we had to pour out when we were done. Made giant bacon BLTs. It was
bacon.
I hit the spot.
All right, so you're going ghost pepper. I'm going bacon. So
Ghost
Chris,
pepper. I'm going with I want to regret it, when I'm sitting on the toilet the next day.
So Chris, since we are undecided on this, I suggest you get a half and half order. Best way to go. Best of both worlds. And Chris from Washington, so he gave us two questions. So the first one is, will Shane from The Walking Dead do Frank Castle justice in Daredevil Season 2? I'm going to say yes. I think we're both very excited about the casting. I think he's going to do a great job. So
Marvel knows what they're doing on casting.
Marvel knows what they're doing, and I have no reason to doubt them. They've yet to give us a reason to be doubtful. So we both think he's going to do well. And the gold star question of the night also comes from Chris from Washington. He wants to know, with DC coming out swinging with quality female lead characters and actresses like Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie, will Marvel suffer business? And he does not feel Scarlett Johansson is a quality lead. So I'm going to say that they're not. Marvel's not going to suffer. I think your question is twofold. I don't think Marvel's going to suffer. Their business isn't going to suffer. It says Marvel. They're going to make a ton of money. But I do think your question, Chris, addresses a bigger issue that we've talked about, is that Marvel's lack of female leads in their movies, and that's a real issue that they do have.
Well, are they doing the Captain Marvel movie? I can't remember if they're doing that one or not.
They are doing the Captain Marvel movie, but it's still not coming out till 2018. Now, Marvel's done some good female characters, and I disagree a little bit. I don't think Black Widow necessarily is a strong female lead as far as her own solo movie. I do think there's a reason why she doesn't have one yet. I like her as a character, and I'm not saying she couldn't have her own movie, but I think she makes a much better... Her character in general, just the type of character it is, I think she's done really well as a secondary character in all the Marvel movies, and I think that's why they've had her as a main secondary character. She just doesn't have powers. She doesn't necessarily fit into the mold of what Marvel's doing with their movies. I think a good Black Widow Hawkeye movie would have made sense, but there's definitely...
remember though, Marvel's best female, strong female characters are on the X-Men.
Yeah.
They do not own the rights to the X-Men for the movie. Storm, Jean Grey. I mean, even stuff like Jubilee. I mean,
Well,
they're
and not
they're
just
some of the bigger, more stronger characters in the Marvel universe, and even the villains on the Emma Frost. She's a very powerful female character. Um, Mystique and all that kind of stuff. But just Marvel just doesn't have the rights to the best ones that they could be using for the movies.
well,
So
Sue Storm from Fantastic Four. She's a very strong, Invisible Woman. She's a very strong female character that once again Fox owns the right to. So, I think the current run of Marvel movies, I definitely think they want to address the fact that they don't have a lot of strong, leads that are females. And Captain Marvel is a step in that direction. But like I said, she's not coming out till 2018. And to be honest, Warner Brothers, well, not Warner Brothers, but DC Comics has always been better when it comes to their female characters. They've always had much better female characters, much stronger female characters, and they've always, never been afraid to put them out front. Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
Hawk Girl, Zatanna, Harley Quinn. I mean, you could go on forever. I mean, they have a ton of them, and do I think it's going to hurt Marvel's bottom line? No. I mean, I think eventually if they don't start coming out with some more, they have enough good characters that they can come out with some solo.
They can make a movie from Thor, who is, you gotta admit, kind of not like the greatest superhero character ever.
Yeah.
But they got 2 Thor movies out of that. And they can find a female character to make, something.
And they can. And I've heard rumors that that the Wasp is going to be obviously an Ant-Man. I've heard rumors that they really like her character a lot and that they have a lot of big plans for her in the future, and she's another really good character from Marvel. So Marvel Comics has good female characters. The answer is that there's really no real excuse why Marvel hasn't developed enough. They should be developing more of these movies, especially now that the Marvel brand, I mean, you can put a talking raccoon in a tree in a movie and it'll make, $500 million. So there's really no reason that, a Captain Marvel movie, isn't going to be good and it definitely shouldn't be the only one. But as of right now, I mean, I believe Captain Marvel is the only female-led movie that Marvel has announced. So,
they haven't announced anything else. I mean, unless they pull a Gwen Stacy or a Spider-Woman movie out, I don't know.
Well, and to be fair to Warner Brothers, to Marvel, Warner Brothers really has only announced the one solo Wonder Woman too. It's not like they have a Hawk Girl movie lined up or a whole bunch of other or Supergirl movie lined up or anything else. But their properties just tend to be more out front because they do have the TV shows and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't think it'll hurt Marvel's bottom line, but I definitely think that the time is now to start expanding on these characters and give us more of a diversified portfolio when it comes to our superheroes.
Hopefully they take a lot of the criticism that people had for Age of Ultron with Scarlett Johansson's
Black
character.
Widow. Mm-hmm.
Black Widow. And we'll see. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. No, I mean you don't. But there's definitely room there for improvement for the characters, and I don't know. I'm really excited for the Captain Marvel movie. I think it's gonna be really good.
Mhm. Me too.
So to answer your question, Chris, I don't think it's going to hurt Marvel's bottom line, but I am glad that DC's doing it, and hopefully Marvel can start following suit. So I would love to take my daughter to go see more. If I told her that a Hawk Girl movie was coming out, she would lose her mind, and we would have to be there like in line.
My daughter hasn't even read any Hawk Girl comics or anything like that. I just told her about the character and showed her pictures, and she's talked about Hawk Girl all the damn time. So.
Oh, yeah, or even like what would be cool? Here you go, Warner Brothers. You can use this idea. I would love to see a female Justice League, but like with the sidekicks. I'd love to see like Supergirl, Batgirl, Hawk Girl. Give us a movie like that. That'd be cool. I'd love to see that.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have
you put Power Girl.
They have to have girl or woman in their name, or else you won't know who they are.
Power Girl. You could do Power Girl. She's like not Power Girl.
That's the one that has like extreme cleavage.
Yeah, no, not her. I was thinking. Yeah, that's Power Girl. I'm thinking. I think it's Wonder Girl. It's Wonder Woman's niece.
Oh.
But yeah, so there's a lot there. I think it'd be a cool movie. So that's it for our Q&A section. Once again, everybody, thanks for giving us a question, and hopefully we answer in the way you like, or to your liking. Every week we'll, don't forget to keep sending them in.
So if you're a friend on Brian's or my Facebook page, you can reply to it. That's why we're gonna make our own page, and then
that's why soon we'll have a Geek Dad Report page, and you'll always be able to find us and give us questions. But once again, thank you for submitting them, and don't forget to send them to us next week. We'll have more funny answers for you guys. So,
that
about out of
brings
time,
us
so I guess we'll move on to our final little segment here. It's what you should or should not waste your time doing this week, Ryan, as always.
I have got caught up on the first 3 episodes, or I think 4 episodes of Defiance. That's on the Sci-Fi Channel. And, let's see, they're on season 3, and, I'm enjoying it so far. I've liked the show since the start. They're definitely taking a different route this year. They just blew up, like, the spoiler alert, they blew up the St. Louis Arch. That's like the main center.
All the promos, right?
So what's that?
They said they always show that in the promos.
I don't know if they did. I wasn't paying attention to promos, but it happened in the last episode. But it's a great show. You know, it's an alien invasion kind of gone wrong, and it's fun. It's got the alien space stuff, and it's good. So my recommendation this week is that you start watching Defiance on the Sci-Fi Channel. If you need to get caught up, I believe it's on Amazon Prime.
Sweet.
So
I got Amazon Prime. I recommend getting an Amazon Prime. It's well worth $100. Now, my recommendation this week is, told you guys last week I was gonna get Batman Arkham Knight, and I did, and it's freaking awesome. It's made by Rocksteady Studios. It is, I think, the 4th Batman game. Like they have the Arkham series that came out. I didn't play the last one, Arkham Origins. I played Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. This one's a direct sequel to Arkham City. I don't know. If you like Batman, play this game. If you haven't played the other ones, I definitely recommend you play this game. If you have played the other ones, I also recommend you play this game. If you just want to know what it's like to be Batman, this is the game for you. I mean, the opening mission in this game, you have to go save this cop who's surrounded by like 30 dudes, and you literally just beat the ever-loving hell out of him in like 3 seconds, and then they give you the freaking Batmobile. You get the Batmobile, and it's like a tank, right? So it's got a jet engine, and you're flying through the town, and then all of a sudden these guys come out with guns, and all of a sudden they're like, go into tank mode, and you're like, tank mode? And you push the left trigger, and the Batmobile like stops and starts hovering, and this big gun comes out over the top, and it's a tank. And you can go into tank mode anytime.
I would say that's a great way to start a game.
I'm only like 3% into the game, so I mean, I can't give a full recommendation, but I haven't even got to where you can team up with like Robin and Nightwing and everybody else. But yeah, it's awesome. You feel like Batman. You're Batman. I mean, if you ever want to know what it's like to be Batman, Batman Arkham Knight, play it.
First,
it's amazing. For Xbox One. You can also get it on PlayStation 4. It was out for PC. It was out for PC, but they had some massive issues with it, so they had to pull it. Warner Brothers Studios said that it's going to be back up at some point once they fix all the bugs. So, look for it. If you're a PC gamer and you want to get it, I do recommend it. Just wait for it the patched version to come out, and I'm sure they'll probably give you a few free skins or a bonus mission or something to say we're sorry. But so, play Batman. Watch Defiance.
Yay.
Got anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Have a happy 4th of July, everybody. Don't blow off any fingers.
Yes. Yeah, keep all your fingers because we need them for when you click on our show.
Yeah,
so.
When you click the subscribe button. Or the share button when you share. So
yes.
Happy 4th, everybody.